Okay, so yesterday in class we talked about solving or factoring. So today we're going to work on solving quadratics by factoring. So your objective is that you will be able to solve quadratic equations by factoring. And so when we're solving by factoring, your first step is to set your equation equal to 0. So if it equals like a number, set it equal to 0 by moving that to the other side. Factor, set every set of parentheses equal to 0. Solve for x, and then write your answer in these little bracket things. So we'll go through examples of this. So our first example is x squared minus 14x plus 49 equals 0. So if we start factoring, of course, it's just x. We want our numbers to multiply to 49 and add to 14. So that would be 7. This plus means that they're the same signs. So we look back, they're both negatives. So now we have x minus 7 times x minus 7. This one is actually a special case. X minus 7 equals 0. So you're going to add 7 to both sides. We get x equals 7. And it's twice because this means that our parabola hits our x-axis at 7, like that or that. So it only has it once, but it is listed twice because of this like bounce thing. Our next example is x squared plus 2x minus 24 equals 0. So of course you just start by factoring. It's already set equal to 0. So we want our numbers to multiply to 24 but subtract to 2. So 4 and 6 multiply to 24 and subtract to 2. This minus sign means they're opposite signs. So we look back and our bigger number gets this plus sign. So we have x plus 6 times x minus 4 equals 0. Set each one equal to 0. Subtract 6 to solve. We get x equals negative 6 and x equals 4. Then you're going to write your final answer in brackets. It doesn't matter which one goes first. And that would be your final answer. This one's a little different. It's not equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 2. So we have 6x squared minus 13x plus 7 equals 0. Now it's equal to 0. So now we set up our parentheses. This one's different because our leading coefficient is not 1. So we need to try to figure out what we put in these first spaces. So I always like to start with like 3x and 2x, like the numbers that are closest together, because you could have 3x and 2x or 6x and just x. We want our products here and here to add to 13. So I am going to, it's actually going to be 6x and x. So if we do 6 times 1, we have 6x. 7 times x is 7x. 6 plus 7 gives us 13. 6 times x is 6x squared. This sign means they're both the same. We look back, they are both negative. So again, even though I like to start with 2x and 3x, it's not always the case. So you set this equal to 0. So we have 6x minus 7 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. Add 7. 6x equals 7. Divide by 6. So we get 7 over 6 and x equals 1. So our final answer is 7 over 6, 1. Again, the order that you write your final answer does not matter. One more example. Again, this one does not equal 0, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides to make it equal 0. So we have 3x squared minus 16x minus 35 equals 0. We're going to factor. It has to be 3x and x. So we want our numbers to multiply to 35 and these products to subtract to 16. So if we put a 7 here, we get 21x. And if we put a 5 here, we get 5x. 21 minus 5 gives us our 16. This means they're opposite signs, so we look back, our bigger product here out of the 5x and 21x gets the negative sign. So we put it there, so that means our 7 is the negative sign. So we get 3x plus 5 times x minus 7 equals 0. 3x plus 5 equals 0, x minus 7 equals 0, x equals 7, x equals negative 5 over 3. So we get negative 5 over 3, 7. So when you're solving these by factoring, just make sure it's set equal to 0, then you're going to factor, set each set of parentheses equal to 0, and solve. Come to class tomorrow with any questions you have.